Here it is. Pretty good size. It's about, I think it's about 10.5 inches across. So it's pretty good size. All right. I'm gonna get it set up somewhere and I'll check in a little bit. All right, so I got the first batch of nuts and bolts and various parts in here. Here's the e-brake bracket. Nothing too big. Mostly things that don't have like nooks or anything that the little media can get stuck in. And yeah, probably only about 2 to 3 pounds of parts. So I'm gonna try it out and see how it works. Put the lid on it so I just want to see how it looks. I think it's a little bit too loud to try to film with it running. So right here I got the pedal assembly, take it apart. There's that, and there's the e-brake housing. I'm gonna go dip this stuff in the molasses tank, and I'm not gonna degrease it because these are really clean parts. They just have surface rust on them, and the degreaser will take the paint off. How well you can see that, there we go. Whereas a molasses probably won't take the paint off. So I'm gonna dip these in the tank. There's a couple things in the tank I'm gonna pull out, and yeah, I'll check it in a bit. So I just got done cleaning up the original shifter rods off the 4-speed transmission off the GT Cougar. I didn't go too crazy on them. I know I could, polish them, make them spotless, but I figured there's no point in doing that. This is an all original car. So I cleaned up to each end with the wire wheel. Get them nice and clean, and just wipe them down WD-40. They're still natural metal. They're gonna start rusting at some point. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna put that RPM rust preventive coating on these. We'll see. I did some polishing on the clutch and brake pedal trim. So these are looking pretty good. I have underneath these a little box on here. I have the pads for the brake and the clutch pedal. Just have them soaking in WD-40, clean those up, and yeah. The tumbler is probably running for maybe 2 hours, hour and a half at this point. All right, so I had let the new tumbler bowl run for about 3 hours, I'd say. With the various mixture of whatever, nuts and bolts and some brackets and stuff in there. And I just shut it off probably about 20 minutes ago and went through everything that was in there. And I'd say about half the stuff came out pretty good. Here's the big crank bolt that went in there. The threads cleaned up pretty good. This wasn't too bad. It was pretty rusty on the top. I'll probably put this back in, try to clean it up a little bit more, but it looks pretty good. I mean, there's not really any rust on it. It's just leftover pitting, and I think it did deburr it to an extent. It was pretty rusty on the top of this bolt. And here's the washer for the crank. I can put a picture up of what these were before, because I took pictures of everything just to document what I was putting in there. These are all parts that I had, this looks great. These are all parts that I had degreased, but pretty much what I did is I soaked them in degreaser for however long, a couple days, whatever, and I simply rinsed them in my water bucket, try to get all the crap off, shake anything loose off them, and then I put them in the bowl. So I don't know how clear that is, but these look pretty good. These are the ones that I deemed good enough to take out. There's a washer. This might be able to go back in. This could use a little bit more. But I put more stuff in here. I left some things in there. I put a couple new things in. So I'm gonna let this keep going. Hey, good morning, guys. Saturday morning. Been a week since I filmed, last weekend, of course. I've had those parts soaking in a molasses bucket for the past week. The pedal assembly, dash to firewall support, and like e-brake, and some other small parts. So here they are. I pulled them out of the bucket. I'm gonna clean these up, and I will give you an update a little bit how they look. Keep in mind, this molasses bucket isn't brand new. I've had this over here for over a month. Here's a quick update on the various parts that I had in the Tumbler. Probably the rustiest that were in there were the e-brake parts that are underneath the car, of course. This was pretty bad, and I put it in there for probably 6 hours, and I was looking pretty good. Morning. So these are pretty good. Cleaned it pretty nicely. Yeah, pretty happy with these. This one probably could use like some degreasing. It's got some stuff on it, but yeah, turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with all these. So I'm going to probably fill this up with more parts. I have some stuff laying out there. Nuts and bolts and stuff right there. There are the pedal support and various pedals from the car. I'll clean those up, and I guess I'll show you those. Let's go in here. So this was in the molasses bucket for about a week. Looking pretty good. It wasn't too rusty. Had a good bit of surface rust, but in the original black paint. The paint doesn't always survive like this. This paint survived pretty good. The paint on the other pedal started flaking off, but molasses is pretty good for not removing paint. But yeah. And here's the pedal support brackets. I'm probably gonna put some of that rust preventative coating on this stuff. The RPM. It's like a brushable product. Decided that the whole headlight vacuum system needs to be gone through. I have this diagram I printed out from West Coast Cougar website. They'll actually email you the PDF for whatever year you have, various diagrams, electrical diagrams and stuff. So here I have the vacuum tank, and here is the whole headlight system for the vacuum operated headlights. So here's the vacuum actuator, and I'm going to work on disconnecting these little hoses, remove the actuator, and kind of clean it up and determine what I want to do. Probably gonna have to get it rebuilt. I'll have to do some research to determine how to test it, if I even can test it, and also have to go through the various reservoirs up here. These, I don't know if you call these like vacuum pumps or what, but there's one on each side for the headlights, and there's also the actual vacuum reservoir, which is under the inside the fender. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to take the whole grill apart or if I'll be able to do it without taking the grill apart. We'll see. I'd like to not disturb the like original you know, cord extensions and stuff like that if I don't have to. If I have to take the bumper off, that's fine, but that's kind of the plan for now.